Yum. So we're
Good.
taking a chocolate cupcake, which we're going to make from scratch, and do a wonderful salted kind of caramel topping. And we're filling some of these cupcakes, which is optional, but we'll show you some fun different ideas. So first let's work on the cupcake batter itself. We've got the mixture out, and we're going to do this from scratch. So walk us through.
Okay. So the first thing we have is we have a bowl for our dry ingredients.
Okay.
That's got 2 1/4 cups of flour in it.
Okay.
And then you add your salt and your baking soda.
And how much water did you need? Because I'm going to get some water.
And you need 1 1/2 cups of water in this.
Okay.
And then your other liquid is going to be vinegar, and we use that actually in place of eggs in this recipe.
That's interesting, and it'll still rise and do everything that it needs to do.
It makes the perfect cupcake. It is so yummy.
So just vinegar, I mean, if you're going to make that substitution, because I do get, you know, my brother-in-law can't eat eggs, and there are a lot of people that can't do eggs. So, you know, is there a certain exchange?
I don't know the exact exchange.
I'm sure if you Googled
it, but you could totally Google it.
Yeah. So it just keeps the cupcakes really moist, like a buttermilk type of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Because you use that in red velvet cupcakes too. It gives it that velvety texture.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I like it.
Okay. So cocoa powder.
So then I add 3/4 cups of cocoa powder. So I'm doing that, and I use Hershey's. I always use brand name cocoa in my cupcakes.
Makes a difference?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I never use generic. So, and then what you want to do in this bowl here is take your oil.
Water? Should my water go in too?
And actually your water will go in last.
Okay.
Because then next you want to add 1 1/2 cups of sugar. And I use extra fine baking sugar.
Now, does that make a difference as well?
That does. It just gives it a better texture. Sometimes cupcakes get too dense if you use, when you're making them from scratch, if you're using just a plain granulated sugar. So this guarantees that your cupcake will be a success.
Good tip.
So then you cream that together.
Okay, this is the oil.
The oil and the sugar.
And the sugar.
Yep.
Now we're going to add our dry ingredients.
Yep, so then you start adding, you kind of alternate your dry ingredients and your liquid.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that, and then you add the water, and then I'm going to add the vinegar as well right now.
Okay.
The vinegar is like 1 1/2 tablespoons. This recipe is really easy to remember because everything is like 1 1/2 or 3/4 cup.
I like that.
Yeah.
And it sure smells chocolatey. Wow.
Yummy, right? And the nice thing to know about this one is that in my cupcake shop, I like double, triple this recipe, and it still works good. So you can,
that's good to know.
You can do that.
Let me give you a rag for your hands.
I'm making a mess.
There you go. That's all right. You should have seen my kitchen last night after we were dyeing the eggs and making cupcakes, but it sure was fun. So this batter looks wonderful, rich and
perfect
lovely.
batter.
Okay, so that's that.
Yep.
Now we've got our cupcake liners.
Yes.
Okay.
So the next thing you want to do, after you've made your lovely, beautiful chocolate mess, is you take your cupcake pan, and this makes around 18 to 24 cupcakes.
Okay, we'll just fill a couple of them because we're running out of time.
Okay. And if you want to bake a Cadbury egg inside,
how do you do that?
This is a caramel Cadbury egg.
Okay.
You just put some batter on the bottom of the liner, and then scoop some batter on top. Fill it about 3/4 full.
And that's optional, but some of the other things that you could stuff it with is chocolate chip cookie dough, a little of that in the middle. Oh my gosh, that would be
You do that
heavenly.
at the end and just scoop out a hole and fill it with the chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay, so here are our baked cupcakes.
Yes.
Wow, do these turn out gorgeous. Tell us what's in the frosting.
This is salted caramel frosting, and it's got Mrs. Richardson's caramel in it.
Okay.
And the recipe is on your website. But the key is the Mrs. Richardson's caramel and the sea salt. So,
okay, all right. All right, so then we'll go ahead and pipe these on, and this makes the most gorgeous frosting.
Yeah, use I think it's a 1A tip.
Okay.
To swirl that on, to give it a heavenly swirl.
You trust me?
Yes.
Okay, let's top these up and make them look fantastic.
And the cool thing that I do with the ones that have the Cadbury eggs in them is I actually put the head and the tail of a peep on, so it looks like it's swimming through the frosting. It's just a cool Easter idea.
How fun! And that, like you say, when we cut into that one, you're going to have a chocolate caramel Cadbury egg, and it's going to be all melty and wonderful. A little bit of disco dust. We're going to do gold. Woo! And then some of the other toppers, we could just do some chocolate
Some
chips.
chocolate chips for the chocolate chip cookie dough ones.
Oh, I love that. And then we've got some fun little sprinkles too.
Yeah.
Amanda, always great to see you. Again, you
So
can
good to
find
be
her
here.
on Facebook under Amanda Cupcake. She'd be happy to bake for you. Happy Easter.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks for sharing.